Hi everyone, it's Gillian here from Rustic Journals. I hope everybody's doing well today. I have come on to do a flip through of this cute little spring journal that I've been working on. Some of the digitals that I have used are from Tanya at Tatty Treasures Etsy shop, and I will link the kit below. But there is a lot of coffee dyed pages and book pages and whatnot in the journal as well. So the cover is just a soft fabric cover with patchwork like that, and then I've popped this it's not really laced, trim I guess, down the spine there, and we have got some bling bits here, some leaf fabric leaf things here, and I made this book plate and it's got like lace, a lace flower and leaves underneath it, and then we've got these really cute little fabric flowers with some gems on top here, and then this is a fabric and lace cluster that I made. So that's the cover, and then again on the inside fabric, and then it's like envelopes. I've popped the fabric on each bit of fabric onto an envelope and then stuck the two envelopes together. So here on the inside, this is glued on, and I've popped some sari silk behind it and glued that down as well to keep it closed. So I can't remember where this was from. It was from Kofi. I'm not sure if it was Tanya's or not, this one. I don't think it was. However, this little bunny rabbit here is from Tanya's kit. Oh, this just came out. And then we've got this tag here, and I've just made a mini belly band that goes into, and then some coffee dyed paper and a little butterfly. So that is that. And this journal will be up on my Etsy and Ko-fi shop. Right, and then here, this is one of Tanya's digitals. Cute little rabbit there. And a label that says Simply Blessed. And I've stitched around a lot of the pages. Well, not a lot, a few. And then we've got a bunny here from the kit. And this little journal spot here. I think I made this one on camera actually. I have a feeling I did. And then on this side, we've got one of the pockets, and I just like tore this off and used it as a tuck spot and popped some homemade paper into there. And then we've got that leaf trim up at the top here, some embroidered flowers down here, and then this flower as a tab. And then we've just got this tag here with some collage bits popped on there. Oh yeah, and I did some stenciling on there as well actually, yeah. Now over here, kit paper, and this is part of one of Caroline from Caroline's Musings kits. I think it was a yearly planner, I think that was part of. So I've just made this little envelope, and I've just popped various bits and pieces in here that I'd use to make the journal, just for whoever gets the journal to add bits on if they wanted to. Just little rabbits that I didn't use, some scrap bits of paper, a label, and two of the pockets that I didn't use. I thought whoever gets it might want to add those themselves. So they just go in there. I also always include a little bundle of you know, ephemera with my journals anyway, so I would be adding more stuff as well. And then that folds over like that, and then we just have a tag and a faux stamp clipped on there with a paper clip. And this here is a fabric flower. I cut it out of a tablecloth, I think it was, and just popped it on there. I thought it was quite nice. Simple but effective. And then here we've got one of the pockets from the kit and a tag from another kit, and then this is from Tanya's kit, and I've just added that bow there. I love all these rabbits, they're so cute. Now here I made this framed picture out of one of Shabby Dabby Dooda's frames, and I'm not sure where I found that bird, I can't remember. And I've done stenciling, some washi tape that I've inked around the edge of there. And this card thing, I just stitched around it and stenciled the back. And that's a little journal spot. Now, this is just plain for journaling, and I've added, with that trim that's down the spine, I made a couple of tabs just to pop on there. And here's one of my favourite bunnies in the kit. And I made this pocket out of scrapbook paper. Well, it's more like cardstock actually. And I added some of this, I can't remember what you call, rickrack is it? And some lace with flowers on there. And then we've got this envelope with a matching card. And it can just be journaled on. That was from somebody's Ko-fi on a freebie thing as well. I can't remember whose though. Journaling space. And then I've just added this faux invoice. That's not stenciling, that's with that, you know, that, I don't know what you call it, you pop it anyway. Yeah, I just dipped it into ink and popped it all over there. And then we've got fabric ruffle down the side there. And I love this sleeves. I fussy cut it off of a 6x6 paper. And then that's the middle of the first signature. There's two signatures, I should have said that. In fact, this was the 6x6 paper as well. I cut out the frame bit, then added some book page and a rabbit there. And then a little gem bling thing I popped in the middle there. And some crocheted lace down the edge. And then there's two of the tags from the kit. I didn't really want to add anything to them because it would cover all the pretty flowers. So I just stitched around the edges instead. And they're backed onto blue cardstock. And then we've got this here. This cute little thing with some lace down the edge there. And that's a little journal spot. And I've just clipped that on with those cute little mini Tim Holtz clip things. Another flower tab there. And then we've got this page. I just used the pocket as an up tuck there. And a pocket here. And this was a paper cluster that I had made. I thought looked nice on the edge of there. And then we have got one of Caroline's Musings little cards that I've popped into there. And I've made this side tuck using some more of that crocheted lace and an antique, a vintage button. And this envelope, that was part of the kit, so I just added on a closure here, and we've got some journal spots in there with some in fact I think that's fly paper I used in there from a book, yeah, and I just stenciled on it with a matching kind of green colour. Oops. And over here I've just used this cute little framed picture as a little tuck. And I popped one of these cute envelopes. These were on Rachel and Bella's Ko-fi page. And the letters as well, the letters and envelopes. I mean, how cute is that? Super cute. There was lots of envelopes. There's ones even smaller, which you will see further on in the journal. And then I've just glued down 2 of the letters there. And this is my Edith Holden stationery. So I've just kind of glued this bit down so it can fold out like that. And I've put this circle thing here as a closure. Thought the butterfly and springtime just fitted perfectly with this. And this is just all collaged down. There's no tucks or anything there. We've got some pretty trim down the edge there. And I think I may have done this page on camera, but I love how it's turned out. You know, this is the same stationery kit. This is like the lid or the flap of the envelope here. And then I've just added bits and pieces on there. I love how it's turned out, all the colours and things though. And then we've got this paper ruffle with an embroidered flower here. And that kind of folds out. I've got a funny feeling I've showed this on camera as well. Some textured paper there. And this was like a greetings card that was also part of the stationery kit. So I just kind of tucked this bit of it into the envelope to make it a bit stronger, and then just glued the edges down here and added some crocheted lace so that this could be a pocket. I mean, this is really small to go into here because it's quite a big pocket, but I just kind of popped that in so that people could see that it was actually a pocket if they wanted to add their own bits and pieces or whatever. And then we've got this pocket here that's got the, what do you call this stuff? Like textured paint or something, I think. Yeah. And then this is one of these little flowers that's on the cover as well, except it's got a brad in the middle of there. And then we've got these flowers here and this bow, which is actually nail art stickers. They're so cute. And then we have the tag with the fabric flower and a gem on it. And I think that's the end of the first signature. Yep. Okay, so here we've got another tag with a, like a, I don't know, a plastic type leaf on it. And then I used these butterflies. They're actually on a roll of washi tape. So I just kind of fussy cut them out and popped them on. And then I've got this cute mini little flip pad, scrappy notepad thing with some gems on there. And here we've got a belly band and another one of those plasticky flower things like the leaf. They were all in the same set. Some gems, a tab that I had made some time ago, and one of these flowers with those leaves that are on the front cover. And this is just an envelope I made out of cereal packet and napkin. I got that idea from Natasha at Treasure Books. Some of that textured paper again in here. I really like how this one's turned out. Sometimes I make them and they don't turn out very well, but this one has turned out really well. It just feels nice and it looks all neat. So I was quite pleased. Come on, in you come. Gosh, he doesn't want to go back in there. Yeah, so that's that. Isn't it funny when you're on camera, nothing ever wants to go back in place very easily. And this is like a hidden journal spot. Now this here was made from an envelope that I folded up to make this pocket. And then I added some 6x6 paper, well cut down to size obviously, and stuck on here to make another smaller pocket. And then I just glued the 3 sides so that we could also have a side pocket. we go. And I've done some stenciling behind there as well. And then we've got a tag with some different threads and wool and whatnot there. And there we have another fabric ruffle. I have a few of them. And then that's just plain. I mean, you could journal down this bit here, I was thinking. Maybe stick a photograph or a receipt or some kind of keepsake at the side of it maybe. Now these are silver sticker type things. I don't know if it'll show up very well on the camera, but they're so pretty. And I just wanted to use them. I think I may have got these from Jazzy, who is Crafty Girl Chronicles. I think she may have sent me those. Now this page here is made from a vintage children's book, and I tore out this bit here and stuck some vintage music paper underneath and added a little butterfly. And then the tag inside, this toad, he was actually in this bit here, but the page was, it was like a big book, so I would have cut his head off if I'd used the whole page. And I thought he was rather cute, so yeah, I cut him out and used him in the tag so it could all be included. And then I've popped a tab on and a label, and this was a bit of the story that was underneath the picture, the image. And I think, yeah, I stuck the toad onto some wallpaper sample, that's what that is, and stitched around the edge of it. So he pops in there like that. And I thought this this music sheet, I used that because it had something about a frog, and I know he's a toad, but you know, I thought, well, they're similar, aren't they? And then here is the other side of the Edith Holden stationery paper. And that is just plain for journaling and some vellum there. And I've added some more of that pretty trim here. I thought it looked like, you know, that bit you get at the top of windows when they've got that screen things. And I've added these welly boot fussy cut there as well. And then I've attached this CD cover here. Done some stenciling around the edge there and a label. And then I've popped some scrap paper on the back there. And then inside we have got another image from another children's vintage book there. And then journaling on the back there. You kind of have to be careful taking that out and in, you know, because it's kind of awkward to get in there. And then we've got this lovely image here with some journaling space that can be hidden away. And then I love this image as well, love it. And we've got another one of these tabs. Plenty journal space there again. And then this here is a vellum envelope that I had made, and it flips out. It's like glued, the flap of it is glued underneath this paper. And then inside we have got some, some dictionary, vintage dictionary page with, that's been decoupage with napkin there, and tea-dyed paper on the back. So that pops in there. And then we've got this pretty paper here for journaling, and a stenciled underneath. And here's another one of my lace clusters. And we're almost near the end now. I think I made this on camera as well. It was made from a window envelope, and I just glued down various bits and pieces, some bling and ruffled sari silk and whatnot. And then I made this little journal spot to go inside it. So the little squirrels pop out at the window. Yes, this was the little envelope that I was speaking about from Rachel and Bella Crafts. I mean, look at the size of it. How cute is that? I've just glued on this fussy cut daisy here and added this on just to kind of keep the flap closed, really. And then look at the size of this letter. Oh my goodness. How cute is that? So yeah, that just fits in there. Can't remember where I got these teapot pockets from either, but that just kind of fits in there. And again, I just glued like the handle, the spout, and round here so that something could get tucked into there. Now this card, I have just, let me open it up, just a journal card that I've popped in there. But I've glued the ribbon underneath another one of these cute little letters. And then I have another letter here, and I've made a cute mini tag with that nail art stickers on it. Stenciling and stamping and whatnot. And then this, I think, is the last 2 pages. And we've got a really tiny little pocket there. And I've just made these little tags to go inside of that one. And then over here, another cute pocket with a little rabbit. And I had this frame, wish I could remember where I got half of these things from. There was lots of different frames and different sizes. It was somebody's Ko-fi. And I've just glued on this little blue tip bird there. And then a prayer type card on the back there. And then I've made a tab here, and we've got a cute little bunny rabbit charm on the end of that. And that brings us to the end of the journal. So yeah, I actually forgot, I need to make some kind of closure for this, and then it will be finished. So I hope you've enjoyed looking through the journal, and enjoy the rest of your day, guys. And we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.